Well, good morning or good afternoon. We'll start this 3D training name from combine to surgical guide. Okay. We'll see this. We'll have 40 minutes in front of us. We'll see a lot of different things, very interesting things. And just before to start, I will start with a presentation. What we could do with 3D software, and also I will show you how to manage the software itself from the start, from the beginning, means from the CBCT to the creation of the surgical guide. Just before to start, who I am. I'm Jean-Michel Kepa. I'm the technical service manager for the company, Owandy, and also the training and CBCT 3D image for that company. And I really enjoy to show you, to be with you today, to show you what we may do with this software and our device for sure. I hope that everybody is hearing me correctly. Okay, I start with the presentation. Well, just before really to start, it's important to for you, if you have any comments or question, because it's very short, 40 minutes, means we won't discuss, or we will be able to do it later. Then for your comments or your question, you see it is written on the document. You may send your comments to info@owandy.com. This is very important. I feel really free to ask any question you want. Well, I will show you a presentation of the software feature briefly. How to move the different plane like sagittal, coronal, axial view, how to draw nerve, etc. A presentation of the software feature. And also we'll see the patient's tour in 4-action. We created this concept, and this concept is to show how to check, show you how to really check all the side of the patient within 4 quick actions. We will see also how to trace the mandibular canal, a very easy way to trace the mandibular canal. Also how to take a measurement. We also see the famous panoramic reconstruction. Sometime you may heard about curve MPR, the curve along the arch, how to draw it, how to use it. You'll see how to create a PDF report, very light, very easy to manage. For sure, we'll see the implant placement and the prosthetic project. And we'll see, well, the different way of getting a STL file with a numerical camera scanner, or from a plaster model. We may use a plaster model directly on the device and to recover a STL file, and also silicone mold we may also scan on the CBCT itself the silicone mold. We'll see also the matching. From the STL file we get from a numerical camera or a plaster model, we may match to the CBCT itself. And also, for sure, we'll see how to create the surgical guide itself. And in addition, we'll see the face scan, and the face scan is used when we communicate with the patient himself or herself. It's today very, very useful to have this function. Just before we really start to work with the software, insist on that if you have comments or questions, really use info@owandy.com. Now we are going to start with the software itself. When we open a case, a 3D case, we have this 3 view and the 3D view here. 3 views, coronal, sagittal, and axial view. When we take the line, we're able to move inside the volume. And the color itself of this line, it's a red color, as example, I read on the sagittal view. If I move the blue line, I read the coronal view. I'll show you how it works. We may rotate around a point like this. And also the 3D view, we may move the 3D view and also do some things like cropping the 3D view. Because if I like to work only in one area, we're able to crop the 3D view. We have also on the top some few icons. This icon give us a possibility to do different actions like changing the view to go to the curve. This icon here, this is for the matching. We'll see how to use it. This one is only the 3D view. See 3D like this. We'll also see some function like this. This is to help to see the outline of a 3D object. We will see later how it works. Some icons like this, how to, if I like to show the 3D view or not, and some different kind of features. Also some function like this that could be helpful when we like to reset the position at once, like this. Also on the left side, you may see some stamps. The first stamp we have when we open the software is a filter area here. Filter helps to change the brightness and the contrast, as you may see. We have a small window. If we click on it, we have the same thing. We have some area to collect the 3D object, an area named surgery that helps to redesign or to design a 3D object or surgical guide, measurement area, implant area, drill guide area, picture area, we'll see how it works, wax up area, text, we may add text on a surgical guide, okay, airways, and well, cephalometry. We won't see this function today. Well, I'll just go back to that function here. Well, the first step I just go back with the camera. First step is to check the patient within 4 actions. 4 action mean, okay, we'll check first this area here, and then that area here, and that area here. 4 actions. This is very fast. Each time I suggest, each time you do a CBCT, it's to make a quick tour of the patient. Well, I go back for you to have the full screen. Okay, I start from the axial view here. I align to the bone, and you see on the right top here, the sagittal view. The sagittal view, we have some function able to see the lines or not. I just use Control plus Wheel, and I make a tour on this side. Okay. You may also pick up directly the red line, and I move inside my patient. This is the first step. I check one side. Then I go on the opposite side. I also align to the bone, and we also move left and right in a way to check inside my patient. You may see something, the bone is very thin on that area here, an example. Okay, it was the second step. Now we are going to see the third step. So third step, we go on the incision area. I go just on top on the of number 1, and you see on the right side, I see the profile of my teeth. Number 1. I go in the middle of them, I align to them, and you see here on the left side, the coronal view, my number 1 and number 2 at once. And I just move backward, forward to check number 1, number 2. Why not? We may go to the number 3. This was the third step. Fourth step will be for sure to go on the mandibular area to also align from the middle of the tooth here. And you see at once also the number 1, the number 2, and you may move backward, forward. You see, this is very fast. Means after each CBCT, I recommend to do this small check in a way to quickly check the full mouth of your patient, for sure, if you use large volume. Okay. Now, the next step will be to check the mandibular nerve. We have a specific technique for that, and it's very also fast to find it. First, we align to the bone. While aligned, I see on the sagittal view here, and from the coronal view, I will try to find the foramen. This is a small hole on the bone here. Well, I just move the blue line in a way to find the foramen. And now we see the exact position of the foramen. While we found the foramen position, I go in the middle of the nerve, and you'll see also, you may see on the right side, on the sagittal view here, you see the nerve start to appear. The last action is to turn around the point here in a way to align my nerve. And you see the nerve is perfectly aligned. And now the next step is to draw the nerve. How to draw the nerve? We have a small stamp on the left, 3D object. We have a special icon named Create Nerve. While I do that, now I created a 3D object, and each time I will click on the view, I will add points. We are able also to move the points, to readjust the position if desired. And you also see it start to appear on the sagittal view. Then I will continue from the sagittal view. I have to click on the small icon here. It's like a small hand with a pen in a way to draw on my view. I start to click, and each time I click, I'm creating a point. We may readjust if necessary. I always prefer to be on the upper position. When it's finished, I just click on it and I say finish nerve points. My nerve here is drawn. Well, blue color, I will change that color. Personally, I prefer to have a flashy color like green or yellow. It's for me better to see it correctly. Well, this is a way how to draw a nerve. Means always same technique, to align to the bone, find the foramen, go in the middle of the nerve. You just turn around the point here, and then you align and you find easily the nerve. Next step will be to do a measurement on that area, and everybody could see one tooth is missing. Now this is a 46, and we will measure that area here. First, I align in a way to be more or less the axial view parallel to the crowns, and I will measure that area here. And that area here, this is what we could see here. Means we are going to measure. On the left side, I select the measurement stamp. We have several icons. Most of them we use is this one on the bottom, point-to-point measurement. Click on it, and each time I click on the view, now I have a first point. I click on the second point. I may also take the point and move it and remove it again where I want. And you see now the measurement. The measurement is collected here. It's like a library. I move the stamp if I don't want to sit in the middle. And I also measure that side here, the thickness of the bone. This is an area where we like to set an implant. Well, measurement is easy like this, and we may measure on each view. Next step now is to draw a curve. Remember that function to reset the position of the different views. I'm going to move, I stop, I just click on the hand just to stop to measure. I go on the mandibular area. This is the area where I like to work. I like to add an implant on that area, 46. I change to that icon in a way to select the panoramic view. I just click on panoramic curve, that is off actually, and we add the curve. We may select the green point in a way to move the curve like this, in a way to align to the arch like this. We have another possibility, that is to draw by hand the curve like this. That's the same. On the bottom, this is what we call the panoramic reconstruction. I may change the way of viewing things, like a panoramic, adding what we call sharpen in a way to have a clear image. And on the right top here, you see this view is the exact position of the yellow line. This time I will place my yellow line on the desired area. And this is the area, remember, where we like to add an implant. And we have the possibility to select different kind of view. 2 views like this, 6 views, or 12 views. And we see millimeter after millimeter, the distance between 2 slides is 1 millimeter. We may read the value here, SL is 1 millimeter. From that, I may register some images inside the software. We have a picture area here. This is some profile images. I may remove that images if I don't want them, like this. And I will add this picture here. This is like a camera, smartphone camera. Take picture, I give a name. You may have comments. Say, okay. And now you see on the left side here, I registered my image. And we may register several images if I like to change the view to sagittal view. Like this. I will select this time only one view. Okay. And I will also take a picture from that position. And you collect all the data. Now, how to create a report. I go back to the coronal view. I want to export that views here. We have a function name print report. I may give a name, address, additional information, and I select the number of views, means from 25 to 36 this time. And now I'm creating my report. I have a view like this. I should say print. In reality, I don't print. This is just a way to save. So report here. We'll name 200526. 36, change it, 26. Register. Now my PDF, my report is created and registered. Show you our up. Now in the report area, this one, just open the PDF file. And you see the report. And also all the different views that we registered from the image area. Very light, this is a PDF, very light, very easy to handle, to manage. I go back to our 3D case. Okay. Okay, we saw how to register some images, how to export a PDF report also. Now the next step is to create an implant and to add an implant in the 46 area. Well, I just have to select the desired area, the 46 area here, and I right click and I say add implant. I select a desired implant. Why not this one? Okay. And I may click on add workup. When I do that, you see, well, my view is changing now. My implant on the coronal and sagittal view. And we have on the 3D view here, the profile of my crown. First, I will adjust the position of my crown. How to do that? Remember, I show you that small icon here. I go on 3D object. I have now one tooth number 46, and I show the profile of it, the outline. And what I just have to do first is to move my 3D object on the desired area. If I don't want to see my implant actually, because I will adjust its position later, I make it disappear, I disable it, and I just place on the right position my crown. I'm able to turn it from each view, turn around the point, the way to align. We may also resize the object, and I will place my object correctly. This is a virtual crown, for sure. And you see on the 3D view here, we have the position of the crown. We may, for sure, readjust the position of it, last rotation. And when I turn, you may see on the 3D view here that the object is turning around. Okay. When I consider that my 3D crown is correctly placed, this time I just scale a little bit the 3D volume because I don't want to see the upper jaw. And I may also, if I don't want to see the measurement, you have a small icon to hide my measurement to appear or disappear. And now I call my implant. And I am able, for sure, to place my implant correctly. You will see when I will release the implant, automatically the view are changing in a way to be always in a perpendicular view from the implant. And I just have to align my implant regarding the middle of position of my crown. Let's turn. Now my implant is well aligned. Well, now I just go back to the camera. Well, talking now about the different STL file, we may use for sure a camera directly and scan the patient. And while we scan the patient, we get the STL file. We may also use plaster models like this. And we may put this plaster model directly on the device. Well, it's very easy. On the device, sometimes people, they does not know that we may use like a small plate like this. We just put the model on the plate. We put the plate on the device itself. We select the correct program, exam from the device, and we emit X-ray. And then we retrieve the STL file. Wow. Now I will call my STL file from the CBCT. I will show you again the software. Okay, now it's a full screen software for you. I will how to call a STL file. If you use a camera, it can be every camera from the market. We did some tests on different kind of camera. You may use every camera you have in the house. Well, I just say import mandibular 3D model file. For that example, I will use the scan from a plaster. That is very interesting because for my case, okay, we have a camera case. I mean, quickly we may load this case just to see how the look of it, how to manage it. Regarding the if it's an image camera scan, the time for loading could be a little bit longer than a plaster model, for example, or if it's a monochrome, a single color scan, the files are a little bit lighter, means could take a little bit faster. Okay. When we get the volume, this STL file, you see now, okay, you see our STL model, and we have to match with the CBCT. I will remove this object here, and I will call also by the same way a plaster model that time. Plaster STL file issue from the CBCT on the mandibular. I will do the same job. Well, the color here is gray. I will change it to, why not this color here? I prefer. And I will align to the CBCT. How to align? We have a special icon here. On the top here, you see this is our STL issue from the plaster. And the model, the STL file you see is a reissue from that plaster model here. I did on myself. Well, I position my STL object. I also position more or less in the same way the CBCT, like this. First, I synchronize the movement. After movement I synchronize, I just have to select similar points on the top here, and on the bottom I choose some cuspid points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and then next point. Now you see that the 3D object is aligned. When it's finished, I just click on that icon here. Now my STL file is perfectly aligned with my CBCT. You may see the profile also of the object, means you may realign or readjust a little bit the position if desired. Reset the position, call back my axis, I go on that area here, I go in the desired area where I will work, I will create a surgical guide. And now I see, oh, maybe I have to realign a very little the position. Means my object, like we did with the crown, I realign, you see, smoothly my position. I may also check the profile of it, and I also may, by hand, realign smoothly also the position of it. Okay, and you may probably see on that view here that the soft tissue are in contact with the profile of my STL file. While it is now aligned, the next step is to create a surgical guide. To create the surgical guide, first I go on the 3D view here, and I select drill guide. First, I don't need, well, now my CBCT, I just need to read to see my CL file that is now aligned. I select the tool diameter. So tool diameter, this is a ring diameter. Okay, why not 4 millimeter? This is a height to stopper. This is the drill length given by the manufacturer of the implant generally. They provide also some tools like sleeves, drills, and the length is indicated by the manufacturer. Well, for our case, we know that we have to add the implant, and we thought this implant is high 8 here. May show you extra thing like okay, we may play with the transparency to show to see the location of the implant. Well, let's go back to the implant area. Sorry, drill guide area. I have to select the area where I will work. That area. I just have to select the area where I like to add an implant. That area here, I may say upper or lower jaw. And if I like to have a higher height, I change the value here. We have actually 10, we change it to 12. Look here, the impact of it. Okay, I will add 1 millimeter more. Okay, now I'm able to create my drill guide. Well, we have a calculation time. Take a few seconds to get it. Now my drill guide is created. Well, the drill guide is appearing here. Don't need to see my nerve. I just see now my implant here and the drill guide. Just additional information. If you like to redesign, why not a little bit? We have a surgery stamp here, and we are able to, why not, creating opening windows, redesign it if necessary. I will cut the top area because I like to see from the top the position. Means you may, with this very easy tool to manage, you see, we may easily redesign the drill guide. And this is our result. Just call back the CBCT. It will be the position of our drill guide. I just call back the camera, Bob. Okay, then you saw from the really beginning, from the scratch, the tour of the patient with the 4 action. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. How to draw the canal, how to do measurement, how to draw curve along the arch in a way to have 1 millimeter stamps. Also to call a STL file from a camera or from a plaster model. And remember, we may really have the STL file directly, you know, from the CBCT. We get the CBCT, and then we just create the object in a way to have the STL file of it, in a way to align. While align, you saw the, remember the matching area. While we align, we are able then to create, either way, the surgical guide. Just before to finish, we have 2 minutes, 4 of us. I'd like to show you something. Today, we know that the communication with the patient is very, very important. And sometimes patient does not understand why the cost to put in place an implant, it's a high cost, and sometimes they don't understand. And this is a way for you to show within very few minutes how to give a value to your work as a dentist. Well, as you see here, we have a 3D view. We may discuss with the patient, say, okay, remember, patient, you came, you remember we did a face scan together. And we also did a CBCT. We did a CBCT, and it was very important because you see here the area where it is necessary to add an implant. And when we added this, we had this implant, we just reduce a little bit the volume here. Why it's very important to take care about the position of the nerve is because the nerve here is implant. We have to place the implant in a way. Oh, wait. Sorry, I have a noise. We would in place the implant here. Oh, wait, sorry, I have a sound. I have to close it. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, I go back here. Then now I put in place the implant, taking care about the nerve position. I don't have to touch it because if I touch it, wow, you may have a big disease. And also, we created a tooth, and with that tooth, we simulate the position of it, the right position regarding your arch. While we did this, and you maybe remember, we did a scan also. And we did a scan. The scan was here. And the scan here is helping me to see the exact soft tissue in a way to create a surgical guide and to put it at the right place. And you see all these tools here, it's a quick way to explain to your patient what you do, and they will be probably impressed about all these necessary tools, these modern technical tools, and for sure, go back the head. To recover for sure the smile. Okay, maybe you may recognize me. It's me without glasses for sure. Okay, it's a real study on myself. Okay, now the time is finished. Well, I hope that it was very useful for you. And remember something. Up. Sorry. Want just to remind you that if you have any information, just have to send your comments to info@owandy.com, and it will be very great pleasure for me to answer you back. And if you have a need like a training or whatever, do not hesitate to send us through this email info@owandy.com. Well, I really appreciate to spend this time with you. I hope it was really helpful for you. Again, do not hesitate to send your information or any comments. It would be a great pleasure. Thank you very much, and have a good day for some people and a good night for others far east. Thank you.